Hi everybody and welcome back to the first official video of the Canary Live YouTube channel after my long hiatus. I've been away for 7 months now and I haven't uploaded a single video, but I'm back now. I'm back with new content, new reviews, new different type of content. I hope you guys are excited and expecting more. And today is actually a review. We're going to be reviewing a movie called Kanarie, or Canary in English, whichever you want to call it. But before we get into it, let's roll the new intro. So this movie is described as a war musical. In my opinion, it's not really a war musical. It's more of a period film which takes place in 1985 in South Africa, and it is also, it is a musical to a certain extent. It's about a coming of age story about this male protagonist who has to go serve his 2 years in the South African Defense Force, but he doesn't meet the requirements to actually join the actual military. He's more skilled in singing and music, and so he joins the choir within the South African Defense Force called the Canaries or the Canaries. And as you can assume, they're not the most respected amongst the entire organization or association. So you guys know my style of reviewing is basically pretty simple and straightforward. What did I like about the movie? What did I not like about the movie? In my opinion, then that's basically about it. So without wasting any further time, let's get into it. Alright, so what did I like about this movie? The story. It works. It connects. The story is told very well. It makes me care. You understand? I asked myself a simple question. I think I was like 10 minutes into the movie and I was like, what's special about this movie for me? Why should I care about two gay guys in apartheid South Africa in a time when my people were oppressed? Why should I care? Why should this matter to me? And I ended up managing to answer that question. Because it's a well-told story. It manages to make me empathize. It managed to isolate me, take me out of my current situation, my current world with all my core beliefs, and put me in a time where people of my creed or color were suffering. But it manages to isolate all of that and put me within these few people's lives. And where there's, by the way, that's another thing, the movie is super white. The movie is super white. There's only like 7 black characters. But despite all of that, it manages to make me care about these white people in a place where they're facing situations that I've never faced and I shouldn't really be able to relate to, but I care. I resonate with the character on a certain emotional level to a certain extent. And that's exactly what I like about movies. Escapism, that form of escapism where you can take me out of a time and a situation that I'm currently in and put me in another world for those 2 hours or 1.5 hours, where I'm able to connect with characters, fictitious characters in some cases, but make me a part of your world for those 2 hours. Put me inside this moving timepiece, this moving form of art that can make me one with the world and one with the people in there, and I feel like I understand what's happening. And this movie does exactly that. I feel like this movie knew that I was gonna watch it. And here's why. The movie plays for, I think, an hour or more, and as I mentioned to you, it happens in this isolated time and period with this certain group of people only. But then it starts changing, and it changes when you least expect it. For these 5 minutes that come out of nowhere, where you're like, okay, I guess this movie is catering to this group of people in the country, and it hits that you know what I'm talking about, right? It hits that. What is happening with the other people in the country, other people being black people? Since this movie moves around Christianity, the choir, the war, military, and all that stuff, there's a certain question that is asked in the movie that hits very deep for me, and I think it hit deep for everybody else. As in, what are you guys doing for other people, specifically people in the townships? The soldiers go to the townships, the military goes to the township. What are you as a choir guys doing to also better the lives of the people in the township? Are you contributing in any way, shape or form, or are you guys just spreading propaganda? Because this movie takes place in the time of the war that was happening around the time in 1985 amongst communists, and this one character who asked that question, and it hits everybody deep, even in the film itself. Because when I was watching this movie, I just told myself, you know what, this movie is going to be totally oblivious to black people, because that's what it had led me on to believe. But then when you least expect it, at the perfect time, it swoops in and raises that question. It's a very important question, a question that, as much as this is a form of escapism, but there must always be a message within that form of escapism. At the end of the day, you must always learn something. You must always be able to walk away from a piece of art having refreshed your brain, having unwound, but also having learned something, or at least asked yourself something. So that's basically what I really liked about the movie. Now we move over to the stuff I had problems with. So what did I not like about this film? The movie was super long. That's all I have to say about that, honestly. That's it. The second thing I didn't like about this movie was the choreography. And I've consumed my fair share of LGBT content, and if there's one thing I can tell you about the LGBT community is that when it comes to their choreography, they fucking kill it. The LGBT community does not fuck around with their choreography at all. And what I saw in that movie was ass. It was fucking trash. It was just straight up ass juice. I'm sorry. It looked like, I don't know, a rat on poison or something. It didn't look nice from the beginning, and at first it was the choreography mixed with the acting, so I thought the acting sucked until the movie carries on and you're like, the acting is buried. It's not really bad at all. It's actually alright. There's not much to say about that also, but the choreography sucked. So much so that even for me, I can't dance to save my life, but Jesus, that was bad to look at. With the exception of 3 to 4 characters who looked like they knew what the fuck they were doing. There was this dance scene in the club, and there was these two ladies. One was dressed as Michael Jackson, the other was dressed like Prince. They knew what the heck they were doing. There was this other white guy who was dressed in drag, and he was fucking killing it. He was killing it. Apart from that, the main character, Jesus, like I said, it was bad. And then this is another thing that I didn't like about the movie. This is more technical than it is anything else, but I have to mention it because it really takes away from the movie, and that is the frame rate at which the movie was shot at. Now I know to most people you guys wouldn't know what I mean about this, but I'll just go over it quickly. Most professional movies that go into the big screen are usually shot at a frame rate of 24 frames per second. Look that up, you'll find out more information about that. This movie was shot, I think it was 30 or 60 frames per second, but it was a frame rate that was way higher than the usual standard. You don't have to shoot a movie at 24 frames per second, but it helps to give it that cinematic feel, that feel of I'm watching a movie, not a commercial. I'm watching a movie, not a soap opera. I'm watching a movie, not an ad or music video. And this movie, the entire movie is shot at an extremely high frame rate, and it takes away from that. It takes away from that cinematic feel. It doesn't feel. There was a scene, if you watch it, you'll see that it was inspired by a very classic film, Fight Club. But what was happening, you can see what was being attempted, and everything is on point, but you're like, but why isn't it working? I can see what was being done here and where we were being taken, but we didn't get there. Why? And it's because of that. It didn't look and feel like a movie, and there were a lot of scenes that actually suffered because of that. It just felt super bright and super light and super fluffy and dreamy, and it just felt like an ad. Now I know to most people what I just said means absolutely nothing, because I didn't even explain or go into depth what frame rates are and how do different frame rates look and feel, but if I did, this video would take forever. So yeah, that's basically what I didn't like about the movie. But over and above all of that, I personally liked the movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it. I went in there because I had to, but when I got in there, I got more than that. I got a movie that I actually enjoy, and a movie that will go down in my list as one of the great movies of 2018, great South African movies of 2018. And I recommend you guys go out there. Probably by the time this video comes out, this movie will be out of circuits already, but if it's still showing in your neighborhood, please go see it, please, by all means. And if you've seen the movie, what do you think about the movie? Do you think anything I said in this video? Do you agree with anything? Do you disagree with anything? Whatever you have to say, drop it down in the comment section. Be nice, don't be an asshole. That's basically about it. If you haven't seen the movie, please go see it, come back, and then once again comment down below. And then guys, as always, you guys know, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share this video with your friends, families, and anybody who'd like to see this stuff. Thank you very much guys for being patient with me and coming back to watch this video. I'm back. I'm also back on reviews on tap on the Acadium channel, reviewing international films there. Don't forget to go subscribe there and watch those videos. Come back here and go back then, come back here. I'm back, and I'll see you on the next video.